So when we discuss AI, right, everyone always thinks of this, robots, Terminator, like very physical things. But what it really is just software. It's just software that automates predictions. So whether it's Google Maps on your phone, Amazon Marketplace, Airbnb, targeted advertisements, all this stuff we use every day is just AI. It's just software that just automates predictions. Sometimes the predictions can be a little bit weird. So this was an algorithm that was used to predict dogs. When they took it outside of the testing environment to the real world, it just started seeing dogs everywhere, which is one of the ethical issues with AI. Sometimes it hallucinates. The predictions can be a little bit strange. This is a more advanced computer vision algorithm. So it's detecting, is this a giraffe or is this an elephant? Is it a zebra? And it's just making predictions. And then we got this one. So we're using machines here, using AI to predict bad apples or damaged apples. But there's a real ethical dilemma with predicting bad apples. Sometimes those bad apples are people. So around the world, using algorithms to determine whether someone's likely to commit a crime or reoffend, whether someone could be a refugee or a terrorist, really personal human rights decisions that are being automated by machines. And often they are discriminatory. If you look at the last one, algorithms in the criminal justice system, ProPublica did some really good research on this, and they found that a lot of algorithms used disproportionately, for example, deny black men parole, because what they do is they're not actually predicting whether someone will commit a crime. They're predicting based on postcode, because they're just machines at the end of the day. They just predict. So if they know that someone's from a lower economic background and they're more likely to commit lower crime, they don't know about the historical inequalities of that society or why that's the case, or how there's over-policing in certain communities. It's just a machine. You feed it data, it'll just spit out outputs. And some of these outputs can be really problematic. So I mean, even with social media, right? We've had Cambridge Analytica, where Facebook was carrying out behavioral experiments on users. You've had things like Uber, who again were sued for firing drivers with an algorithm. You had Amazon, the very famous case of hiring bias with Amazon, where they had an AI algorithm for HR uses to predict who should be hired, and it started predicting that white men should really get the roles. And a lot of these issues are what's called just unintended consequences. No one really went out there to say, I'm going to be evil and do the wrong thing or do something bad. They just didn't think about the ethics from start to finish. And then these things happen. So even if you look at this one with Microsoft, they had a chatbot called Tay on Twitter. And Tay quickly became a Holocaust denier because people were spoofing it, telling it really horrific things, and it was just learning from this data and repurposing it and spitting out these biased outputs, and they had to shut it down, which shows that, there are real severe unintended consequences unless you think about ethics at the start before you actually do something. So even when we're doing technology ethics, we don't expect people to sit down for like a year before every product and think every single thing that could go wrong. Really, you're saying what are the biggest risks that you're going to face, which is why I often talk about privacy related things or bias related things, because that's where most of the bad things happen. And if you can plug those holes, the rest should be okay. You should avoid most unintended consequences, and you should be building, hopefully, more inclusive products and services.